is Tess. I am 24 years old and I am born and raised here in Canada. I actually grew up on Vancouver Island, which, if you don't know, is a very little island here off Vancouver. So I've never tried Egyptian food before, but I'm super excited to give it a go today. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to try is this beautiful plate of food right here. It's called fatir. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, fatir. I'm gonna start by I don't know if this is the correct way to eat it, but I'm gonna rip pieces off and I'm gonna give it a shot. Feels almost like phyllo bread. It's very like flaky. It's almost like almost like a croissant is what it looks like to me. So I'm gonna try it first without the sauces. Very soft, very flaky, very similar, I think, to a croissant. If you like croissants, I think you would really like this. It's a little bit like thicker than a croissant, like the actual bread is a little bit thicker. I feel like this would be a really good like breakfast meal or even like a snack if you go out sporting, oh my gosh. I'm gonna try it now with this black honey. So if you look, I'm not sure if you can see, but it's like a dark, rich honey color. And I'm gonna dip it in here and I'm gonna give this a shot and try not to make an absolute mess. Okay, that is delicious. The combination of the fatir and the black honey is so good. This black honey is like so much darker than most of the honeys that I've had. It tastes almost like molasses, if you've ever had molasses before, but it's like a sweet version of molasses for sure. And then, yeah, oh my gosh, it was so good. And then this last dip I'm gonna try is sort of like, almost like a thick milk, I wanna say, or like sour cream almost, it looks like to me. Like a weird milky yogurt, something like that, for sure. I'm excited to try it with this fatir. Okay. Again, trying not to make a mess of myself. Definitely 8 out of 10. Really yummy, very delicious. I would definitely eat this again. No, I've actually never visited Egypt before. I absolutely would love to. I definitely feel like I don't know a lot about Egypt or about the Egyptian culture in general. I know like a little bit, mostly the stuff that we kind of learned in school, but I feel like being from Canada and this sort of like Western idea of what Egypt is probably not super similar. I'd like to think that they tried to keep it as correct as possible, but I feel like it probably didn't go into the depths of the history of Egypt. Like I know a little bit about the pyramids and the pharaohs and the ancient Egyptians and that sort of part of it, but definitely like the current culture of Egypt I don't know a whole lot about. I would love to visit the pyramids. I'd love to see them. I feel like it's an unbelievable feat of architecture given the time period in which it was built, and it would be an incredible thing to see. And I would really like to see what the day-to-day life in Egypt looks like. I can imagine, but I don't actually know what life in Egypt is like for people. And it would be really interesting to see the differences in the culture between Canada and Egypt. So the second thing that I'm gonna try today is this beauty right here called hawashi. And I believe it is some sort of meat, bread in meat, something like that. So we're gonna give her a shot. Ooh, so it definitely looks like, I wanna say ground beef in between two pieces of what looks to me like whole wheat pita bread. That's how I would describe it. Okay, that's really good. I don't know what spices are in this, but that's really good. Definitely kind of tastes almost like a different version of a burger, for sure. But this is, I can't put my finger on what the spices are in this. But it's delicious. I would probably rate this. If the last one was an 8 out of 10, I think this one has to be a 9 out of 10. I like this more than the first one. I'm more of a savory girl than a sweet gal, so I think this is like really up my alley. Okay, so the first lovely gentleman that we are going to rate today, I think I'm going to rate him like an 8 out of 10. I really like his hair. He's got a super thick head of hair. He's got a nice jawline. He's got an intense pair of eyes for sure. Okay, so the second gentleman that we're going to be rating definitely looks like he's a couple of decades older than me. So I wouldn't say he's quite my type, but he's not unattractive by any means. Definitely, probably for me, I would give him, I guess, 6.5, 7. So the last gentleman that we are going to be rating today, he, again, very nice looking gentleman. He's got thick head of hair from the looks of it, which seems to be a common theme. He's got thick eyebrows, really nice thick beard. I'd probably rate him 7.5. 7.5. I really like the deep chocolate eyes that he's got. Alrighty, so the next thing we are gonna try is this gorgeous rose blavan. And it looks very similar to me to a rice pudding. Now, I've never had rice pudding. I have had tapioca pudding, which I'm not quite sure what that is either, if I'm being quite honest. My grandmother used to have it at her house. But that's about the closest thing I could probably compare it to. So we're gonna give it a shot. I would rate this an 8 out of 10. It's good, solid, it's yummy, and it's got something familiar about it to me. So for sure, an 8 out of 10. The next thing we are gonna try is kunafa and goulash. Now they look like pastries to me, so I am excited to give them a try. I feel like these are probably desserts. This definitely looks like pistachios to me, which is super interesting because I've never, I've seen pistachios in desserts before, but I haven't really seen them in pastries. So let's give it a go. So I think for the first one, I'm gonna give it like a 6 out of 10. Something about the texture to me is really weird. It's not really something that I would pick, but it's still good. Like definitely 6 out of 10. That second one, probably a 7.5 out of 10. It's really good, but it's hard to like cut into. I don't know. This one, however, this one is really good. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. The chocolate on the top makes this so yummy. It is sweet, it is savory, it's like easy to eat. Yeah, this one's my favorite out of these, 9 out of 10. So we've brought the eshta back and we're gonna try it with that sauce and see how we feel about that. Let's give it a, ooh, okay. I feel like it gives it a lot more moisture. I think I like it better with the sauce. I think with the sauce, I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. Without the sauce, I would give it a 7. He's got a nice voice. A very nice voice. That was a nice note. I think I would rate that song it's good, but it's not like unbelievable. So I think I would put it at like an 8. I feel like I've been rating a lot of things an 8, so I want to give it a different number, but my heart is saying 8. So I'm gonna go 8 because it's good. And it's got a nice beat. I feel like I could dance to it at like a wedding or something. I think for this second song, I'm gonna rate this one definitely a 9 out of 10. It's really good, it's really fun, it's catchy, like the tune like, makes you wanna like bop around. And I could see myself actually like listening to this in my like life. So this one is definitely 9 out of 10. I really like it. I think I would rate this one like a 6, and that's a personal opinion thing. That's not anything to do with the talent of the music. I'm not a huge rap fan, so for me, I like the first 2 better than this one. It's still really good music. Like there's nothing wrong with the music. It's good, he's got a nice voice, good beat to it. I just think that if I were picking out a song to listen to, I would probably go with the second one. That one was my favorite, and then like this one I think is my least favorite. I think I would go with a 6 out of 10 for this one. Okay, so that is it for me experiencing Egyptian culture for today. The food was super yummy. I actually really enjoyed it. The music was fun. I really enjoyed trying it, you know, like it's super different from most of my everyday life, and especially the things that I've experienced here growing up in Canada. Like I didn't have access to a lot of different cultures outside of this, and so to immerse myself in something that's so completely different from anything I've ever tried before is like a really fun experience. I've had a really good time. I really enjoyed trying the food. It was delicious, and the music is something I'm actually going to look into a little bit more because I really enjoyed it. It was a fun beat. But yeah, it's been a good day. It's been excellent food, excellent music. I'm so happy I came here to do this, and I'm going to walk away with a little bit more knowledge about Egypt. So that's always fun.